Karl, what on earth are you doing?
Well, I read that salt and lemon is great for disinfecting cutting boards.
Yes, but did you know lemons cost 99 cents a piece?
Yeah, but Steve, you've always said spare no expense when it comes to buying groceries for this show.
Yes, but groceries and lemons are for eating, not for disinfecting and polishing.
Okay then, have it your way.
What is this?
A bowl of lemons. I was going to disinfect all of the cleaning boards for you, but I've been overruled. So you can make lemonade, or you can suck on one.
Yum, 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 yum.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of One Chef One Critic. I'm Karl Wells, food critic for the Telegram.
And I'm Chef Steve Watson of Central Dairies.
Okay, Steve, you have the floor. What do you have to tell us about lemons today?
Beautiful, Karl. What I'm going to explain is how to get a maximum amount of lemon juice out of the lemon itself. What I normally do is either put it in the microwave or keep it at room temperature. Don't keep it in the fridge. Roll it slightly like so. And then what we'll do, we'll just cut it in half like that. And I've got a beautiful lemon juicer here. And we'll just go in there and look at the maximum amount of juice you're getting out of that. If not, you'd only get about 2/3 if they're cold, you see. So there you go, just like that.
Well, you really did the job on that one. Just look at that.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's just nothing left.
No, indeed not.
Pure juice, look at that. That's great. And putting it in the microwave is a great tip because that kind of softens it up.
It does indeed,
and
yeah.
helps you extract the maximum amount of juice. What I like to do as well when I'm roasting a chicken is to take one of these, put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds, puncture holes in it, and then put it in the cavity of the chicken.
Okay, yeah.
In the oven, and it just the permeation of the lemon flavor, it's incredible. That's a great tip, Steve. Now, coming up on the program today, we have Bob Hallett of Great Big Sea with us. Bob is a guy who wears many hats. He's obviously a musician, but he's also an author, and so lots to talk about with him. And what are we going to cook for him?
We're going to make a beautiful jumbo shrimp. We're going to saute that with some capers and some lemon juice and a little bit of feta cheese.
And we have Chef Kazuhiro Tanaka with us today, a Japanese chef, and he's going to do an appetizer called chawanmushi, so stick around. For a complete listing of One Chef One Critic recipes, wine lists, and more, check out our website. Let us know what you think of the show at 757-9600. And here we are with the one and only Bob Hallett. Bob, welcome to One Chef One Critic.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here with you gentlemen today.
So, Steve, why don't you tell Bob and the folks at home what we're going to be cooking today?
Absolutely, Bob. What I've got here is some beautiful jumbo shrimp, as you can see.
Indeed.
And we're going to saute them off with a little bit of garlic and some capers and some lemon juice. And we're going to be serving them on top of some sweet potatoes. And Karl's going to grill some eggplant for us as well. So,
Perfect.
Delightful.
And we're going to top that with some feta cheese. I think that's going to be a nice conversation.
Very, very healthy little dish we're cooking.
Absolutely. So let's get started. Bob, I'm going to get you to cook the shrimp. I'll just put a little bit of olive oil in there. And then I'm going to season them. Got a little smoke going there. Some salt and some pepper. So this is very hot. So I'll pop it in and then I'll just get you to sort of turn them. Down, and I'll get you to just turn them as we go along. Okay?
Excellent.
I'll chop some garlic there.
How many pieces of eggplant each?
I think we'll do 2 each. So
Two each, okay.
Yeah, so there'll be 6 pieces there. That'll be good. They're looking to come on quite good.
These aren't going to take very long.
No, they're not at all. Not at all. I've turned the stove right down now, so. So I hear you're a restaurateur now.
I am. I'm wearing many, many hats.
So what made you get into the restaurant?
We kind of backed into it. We own the pub next door, Aaron's Pub.
Yeah.
And we were trying to find a way to bring some food into the pub. And the building next door, which had been the home of the pepper mill for almost 15 years, the original Bianca's. It's come up for sale, so we thought, well, we'll buy this. And then the plan to put food in Aaron's became too complicated. I thought, well, we have this restaurant, and we'd had this vision of Mediterranean cuisine in St. John's that we haven't been able to pursue. Let's do it, just do it ourselves.
So did you realise what you're getting yourself into when you opened it?
To quote Rumsfeld, it was the unknown unknowns. There was stuff we knew about, and there was stuff that we knew we didn't know, but there was all this other stuff that we didn't know we didn't know.
Okay.
Well, that's where the trouble started.
I got to say, your guts almighty to do that because, and I mean, I'm assuming you don't have any experience in the restaurant business,
Zero.
apart from eating in restaurants.
Zero. Well, I mean, I did have a fair bit of experience in the hospitality business.
Yeah.
And one of the things that, working on the stage in front of millions of people over the years has taught me is the necessity of risk.
Yes.
And if you're afraid to embrace life and, take chances and to put yourself out there, then you have no business in the music business and probably no business in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
So, and I knew nothing about becoming a rock star before I started down that road as well. So, not knowing what I'm doing has never prevented me from at least attempting. And also, like anything else, you surround yourself with smart people who know what they're doing, who have expertise and experience, and the job gets a lot easier.
And give them empowerment to do it.
Indeed, yeah. You get them, put them in place, give them the tools to do it, and then get out of the way.
Yeah.
I was right. You are guts almighty. But tell us about Tavola. That's the name of the restaurant, Tavola, which means what?
It means table in Italian. And our vision, both myself and my wife grew up in Europe, and we spent a lot of time in southern France and Italy. And we love the food, the naturalness, the strong flavors, the focus on fresh fish and fresh vegetables, and most of all pasta, really good fresh homemade pasta, which we couldn't find in St. John's.
No.
And, we would crave that food, particularly in the winter. We'd be like, I can't take another potato or another piece of cabbage.
Yeah, exactly.
I want a really nice piece of grilled fish, or I'd love to have some fresh pasta with a homemade ragu. And so our vision was to bring some of that, and also that kind of warmth that lives in those restaurants. And tavola means table. Food is meant to be shared.
Exactly.
The eating of it is meant to be shared. The company is meant to be shared.
And good company.
And good company is so much of it. So when we designed the restaurant, just calling it tavola, which is table, meant everything goes. It's like we all sit down at the table together. These are doing quite nicely.
Now, you've been up and running for a while. Tell me, what's been the biggest surprise or the biggest challenge you've had to face?
I mean, the biggest challenge was the whole building and the regulatory climate.
Right.
Which is minor in terms of, for people coming to the restaurant,
City
the
Hall.
food is the thing. They're arguing with City Hall, and you need this piece of gear. What? That window can't go there,
Yeah.
And or
Where's the emergency exit?
this heater needs to be upgraded, and there's been an endless parade of those things, which has nothing to do with the food and the wine and the table and the experience, but it's the stuff that drives you crazy. And you spend, if you've got 10 hours a day, you're spending 9 and a half on that.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm really interested in is like, what's that chickpea recipe? That's like 5 seconds at the end of it all.
Bob, you've always been a guy, this is what I've always admired about you. You're a person of strong opinions, and you're not afraid to voice them. Have you ever thought about politics?
My tendency to have and voice strong opinions, I think would be instant career suicide in politics in Newfoundland.
I don't know. I think you'd be a breath of fresh air.
I would,
Yeah, indeed.
There'd be no spin with Bob Hallett.
No, I'm afraid and for every time that served me well, there's another time when I've had to write abject apologies and that sort of thing.
Well.
So I'm trying to, walk that fine line. The other thing with politics is, it's all about the art of the compromise.
That's right.
And my whole career is about doing it the way we want to do it to the highest quality possible. And, that's what we've done at Aaron's Pub. That's what we're doing at Tavola. That's what Great Big Sea has always been about.
Yeah.
That's every project I'm involved with. The bands I manage is about how can we make this better.
Exactly.
And in politics, it's like how can we get everybody to get along? And they're not. I think those things are probably mutually exclusive.
Yeah, where are we gonna put that darn ferry?
You gotta make everybody happy.
What about that
Yes.
bridge?
Making everybody happy has not often been part of my mandate. It's usually
Speaking of the music business, you mentioned Great Big Sea. Your dad was in the CLB band, was he not?
He was, yeah. My music is sort of I think in a different time and place he would have embraced music as a career, but in the 30s and 40s in Newfoundland when he grew up, that was an absurd ambition.
Yeah.
He might as well have said, I'm going to become a professional dart player. Like it had no reality. There was no way to do that. There was no avenue he could pursue. But he had that ability to play music, just pick up an instrument, and the way that you would pick up a knife and turn that into a tool. He knew how to make music
And
out of
make it work.
And certainly with the people in his family, that was considered a normal thing. So I grew up in a house full of instruments that were just sitting there, and you could play them or not play them. But because of that, it was it was easy to go down that road.
How many instruments can you play?
I could probably play a dozen reasonably well, and then another 15 or 20
That's amazing.
if I had to,
That is amazing. I can't get over that. There's another thing I can't get over about you, a talent that you have, and some other musicians have it, is you have the ability to listen to a piece of music and just to duplicate it from ear. No notes.
For me, music was a language that I could speak.
Yeah.
In the way that for some people, like for me, learn to speak another language is this enormous struggle, and I've got books and tapes, and I'm thinking about it all the time. Where music for me was just, it's transparent.
Yeah.
I always understood how it worked and how to put it together, and not necessarily be able to do it that well, but I understand how it works. It was always a language. Even as a baby, I can remember hearing my father practice his baritone horn, and remembering those tunes. I can remember them now if I had to, you know. And it's hard to. It's like I can't teach music. Because for me, it's just well, you just do this. It's right there.
It's like me with the knife.
It's just something you were born with.
Yeah, it was just
it's almost like the auditory equivalent of somebody can look at a piece of writing, prose, and what is it they call photographic memory? That's what I was struggling for. Yeah, it's almost like that. That's amazing because I know people who can't do what you do, but they're fabulous musicians. But it's from notes.
Yes,
they read the notes brilliantly and play
to the
brilliantly.
text.
Yeah.
I mean, I was lucky in that it was always a language I could speak. And for me, learning instruments, it's like you have a drawer full of knives.
Yeah.
You need a knife to bone a fish. You need a knife to pare a vegetable.
Exactly.
And for me, a music store is like that. What do I need to finish a job? I need to make a specific sound. Okay, well, this won't really do it. Well, that'll do it there.
Exactly.
And so I don't know how to play any instruments, or I know how to play all the instruments, or I just know how to play one instrument. It's just a means to an end. And it's the complete opposite of the way you're supposed to do it. So it's very hard for me to explain to people how to go about it.
Yeah.
So we've sorted our shrimp now. I put some capers in there, a little bit of oregano, and I'll just get you to squeeze a lemon in there when I've got my
I was going to say.
squeeze it. Hey, there we go.
Looks pretty much okay to me. I think I'm going to duck out, go to the wine cellar, and see if we can get a nice wine to go with this shrimp.
Okay.
Perfect.
Great. So what I did there as well, Bob, I sliced some sweet potatoes. I've just lightly seasoned them with some olive oil and salt and pepper, and I was going to bake them in the oven as well, and that'll go on the bottom of our dish.
I look forward to it. I've let a few seeds go into this. So
That'll be fine. That'll be fine.
That'll be the end of my apprenticeship here, I suspect.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello, Karl.
We have shellfish today. One of my very favorites, shrimp.
Oh, lovely.
Big shrimp. And, there's some capers in this dish and a bit of lemon zest, some oregano. But fairly, safe, standard kind of seafood dish. What do you think?
Sounds lovely. Love shrimp. Sounds more like tapas. I have 3 interesting choices for you from 3 different countries. The first option I have for you is actually Teixeira from Portugal, from Douro region. And the specific region is actually Vinho Verde, which is a blend, produces Loureiro and so. Mm-hmm. And the second choice I have is Godelia, and is made of Godello, 80%, and Doña Blanca.
Right.
Lovely wine, very mineral.
And this is from
Bierzo. In Spain, it's actually west of Spain, right next to Galicia.
Ah, okay.
And sorry, I forgot to mention this one retails for $16.
Good price, yeah.
Great price, great value. And the second one for $22. Very nice wine and unique as well. And my last choice is sparkling.
Lovely bottle.
From Italy, yes, I love it. It's a unique wine made of Marzemino 100% from Veneto. And the region specific is Valdobbiadene, which is
so
well known.
what part of Italy is that?
It's north
Northern
of Italy.
Okay.
Northern Italy.
Yeah. Well, we've got some great choices here, Jennifer, I must say. But I'm kind of leaning towards this one because I'm in a Spanish kind of mood. Western Spain, Godelia.
Absolutely.
I think this is probably
great choice.
This is going to go really nicely with those shrimp.
I think so
I can't wait to try it. Thanks so much.
And I'll just put the last of the shrimp onto this plate, like so. We'll put some of our garnish, which is the capers, the lemon juice, and some oregano in there. Put that over the top. A little drizzle of olive oil to give it some of that little Mediterranean flavour over there. Okay, like so. And let's go and meet Bob and Karl in the dining room.
There you are. Well, I must say, I did a fantastic job on the eggplant.
As you always do.
I don't know about your shrimp, Bob, but
I'll take full credit for the success of the meal.
let's have a little
Taste?
Yeah. Perfect.
Yep. Those shrimp are really good, eh?
Yep.
Nice and tender, moist. Yeah, excellent.
Caper and lemon.
Beautiful.
What a classic French combination there.
Absolutely.
That's a great summertime dish for your restaurant.
I'm taking notes even as we speak.
Bob, I wanted to ask you about Great Big Sea again. If you had to sum it up in a few words, I mean, Great Big Sea has been probably one of the most successful bands in all of Canada. If you had to sum it up in a few words, what would you attribute its success to?
I mean, more than anything else, is we were different. We had the Newfoundland thing, which no one else had. So we had authenticity, and in the folk roots world, that's vital. We were authentic. The other thing is that we had this enormous desire to stand on stage and entertain people. And so often, bands say they want to do that, but we would do that. There was no personal commitments. There was no job. There was no funeral. There was no birthday party. What we wanted to do was stand on stage and play for people. And that desire to do that on night 1 and night 1,000 is why we had, a 20-year career.
Yeah. Now, this may sound like monumentally stupid of me, and that's okay, because I've sounded monumentally stupid in the past. What exactly does Celtic music mean?
I think it's music derived from that European tradition. And the Newfoundland tradition, people say Celtic, but I'm a little bit uncomfortable with that because it isn't really. It's an English, it's an Irish, it's a Scottish.
Yeah, because we
it's
come
a
from
French,
all over.
It's a melange, it's a mix. And what makes Newfoundland music so good is that it's plucked bits and pieces from several traditions, remixed it and recombined it, in the way that a good recipe takes bits and pieces from all over the place and makes it in this enormously entertaining meal. And the difference in Newfoundland music and what you find elsewhere in Canada and North America is performance. Every Newfoundlander, whether he's driving a cab or standing on a stage, can't wait for people to look at him and to entertain them and to be part of the evening's entertainment. And, Newfoundland musicians have that desire to perform. And that's what people want, on a night out.
Exactly.
You don't necessarily want to sit there and think about it. You want to be entertained. You want to be distracted. You want your life to be better even for 2 hours. And if you can do that, the world's your oyster.
Absolutely. I know you're passionate about St. John's. You really do love this city. Just talk about that for a second. What St. John's means to you?
Well, I mean, St. John's provides a psychic energy that sort of drives everything I do. And its unique place is sort of a middle point between Europe and North America. The fact that somehow it's maintained its own character, its own geography, its own architecture. St. John's is a small place, but it thinks of itself as the capital of something. It might be a sort of pretend country that doesn't really exist, and we're all kind of kidding ourselves. But at the end of the day, St. John's takes itself seriously, even though it's not New York or Paris or London. It thinks of itself as being important, and because of that, it's acquired the trappings of a much bigger and more important place. And its sense of self-importance combined with its character. Is what's kept me here and what's maybe invest my time and my energy into building it and making hopefully a more interesting place when I'm gone.
Yeah, and you hear that from tourists as well. They're always kind of surprised by how with it, and the word they use is cosmopolitan. I'm not exactly sure what that means either, but they kind of do get the fact that St. John's is different.
It's a place that has a sense of itself and knows that it's different and. Those things are very, very rare in the world now, where everything looks alike and it's all Applebee's and this on the corner. St. John's feels different and looks different and smells different and talks different. And that's a big thing.
I'm going to say cheers to that.
Cheers.
Thank you, Bob Hallett, for being on our show today.
It's a lovely meal. I'm delighted.
Perfect. And we will be right back with Chef Kazuhiro Tanaka, who's going to do a Japanese appetizer for us. Stay tuned. Well, I met our guest today a while back when he and his lovely spouse, Millie Foley, were preparing a dinner for 10 at a friend's home. And the dinner was absolutely extraordinary. One of the things that made it so very, very special was that every course from beginning to end was authentically Japanese. And today, they actually have their own catering company called Bay Star Catering, where they can come into your home and cook a meal for you, which is absolutely fantastic. And I'm delighted to welcome Kazuhiro Tanaka to our program. Hi, Kazu.
Hi.
So what are you going to do for us today? It looks absolutely extraordinary. Look, this looks extraordinary. You haven't even started.
Yes. This is very typical Japanese appetizer the whole season.
Okay.
So it's called chawanmushi. Chawan means bowl, rice bowl or bowl.
Okay.
So mushi means steam. That's we call. That's a simple name.
Yeah. So how do we make it?
I'm going to cut up those one.
Yeah, so you've got some fish here.
Yes, this
That's
is
tilapia, correct?
tilapia.
Yeah.
So we have some simmering water.
Yep, simmering water. Maybe
We've actually got some made, so we can
put
show
it
you
in here.
really pretty ones at the end.
Yeah.
Just a couple minutes.
Okay, perfect. And you would do the same with the chicken and the shrimp? of
Yes,
course. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So that's,
Okay.
that's good. Perfect.
So what else do you put in this?
And the mushroom.
Ah,
This
Okay.
is the shiitake mushroom. It's
Okay.
a dry one.
oh, okay. So,
So
that's
this
been,
one also.
That's been reconstituted. You put it in water to just
Yeah,
get-
the sorg.
yeah.
And also I need a little bit, cook.
Cook it as well.
In the-
Okay.
Okay.
So after that, we would then put it into bowls then?
Yes.
Okay, so what we'll do then, I'll remove this and you need to poach then, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll remove this. Okay, pop this to the back here.
I didn't realize we had all this
Yeah,
equipment.
okay, there we go.
And chopsticks too.
And chopsticks too.
Yeah, doesn't matter anyone,
Yeah.
So I need just a space
Okay.
Okay.
between those.
Show
ones.
us what you're going to do with that.
Okay. First of all, the boil, but I need to put those one in here
Okay. Yep.
one by one.
So we've got seafood,
Seafood and
Mushrooms.
shiitake mushroom like this.
coriander. And what
And-
are these, Kazu? What's
These are
that?
ginkgo nuts.
Ginkgo nuts.
Ginkgo nuts.
Yeah. See, he's eating already, my goodness.
This is this.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, so this is that in
Yeah,
the shell.
Shell, yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then we put
So-
some shrimp.
Shrimp on top,
Okay.
like this. Okay?
Interesting texture.
And then we put this into the...
Yes, in there.
And what is that again?
This is the dashi, which
Oh.
is made by
Dashi.
egg and the Japanese dashi.
Okay.
That's the seasoning.
Right.
And then put it in there
And it will poach.
and need to cover it.
Aha.
Ah.
There we
Okay?
go. Perfect.
So now boiling. 3 minutes hard boil,
Yeah.
then soft boil 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's done.
Okay. So, and when it's finished, how does it look?
This one is this. Like
Oh, okay. So that's sort of solidified. It's become like a jelly.
this. Yes,
Yeah.
like cream.
Creme brulee.
Yes.
Yeah. So does that mean then they would go in the refrigerator for a while?
Oh yes.
Okay.
All
And you
the
would
time.
serve cold?
Even cold, you can have this one.
Okay.
Basically steam one, hot, but even in
Yeah.
summertime,
That
winter
would be
time,
very.
doesn't
That'd be a lovely appetizer, to start off a meal, wouldn't it? Yeah. That's beautiful.
It is indeed.
And of course, with Japanese cookery, everything is visual.
Yes.
Everything has to look.
going to
pleasant to the eye, yeah.
From the eye.
Well, can I taste? May I taste?
Yes.
Sort of taste. Oh, look at that. It's. Oh,
you
that's
taste
lovely.
the soy coming through and everything
Yeah,
else.
and the seafood. It's really, really interesting. Beautiful texture. Well, listen, Kazuhiro.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
You're
being on One
welcome.
Chef One Critic. It's a pleasure having you here.
Nice.
And that's it for this edition of
One chef.
One Critic. Sorry, I'm very sorry.
You were Karl Wells.
No, yeah, I really I forgot how we opened the show then.
You tell me to rehearse at night.
One Chef One Critic. Karl Wells.
Right,
Me to
okay, I'm
rehearse my
sorry.
lines at night.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
He blanked, yeah. It's easy to blank. I shouldn't have said anything, should I?
No, it was the first show. It's
Yeah.
been a year.
Yes, but groceries and lemons are not for disinfecting and polishing.
They're for eating.
They're for eating.